Good evening, viewers there. Welcome to the live stream. My name is Tasif. Today, a special topic. We are here today with a special topic, and the topic is that how to be a confident in front of a camera. Now, I know that lots of people, especially from Asian countries, I keep on seeing on my feed in the Facebook, they are trying to do vlogging very actively there, and I see very quality streams while on my feed there on the Facebook and as well as on YouTube there. Still, there are a lot of people who are very camera shy, and it's very difficult from them to come in front of a camera or to express themselves. As you are aware that this pandemic since March of this year, 2020, has totally changed the dynamics of the world there. People and most of the employees of the multinational companies are working from home. And that makes much more difficult for the people to, especially the small organization or a medium-sized organization, to convey their message or convey their marketing stream to the people there, especially the new SMEs there. So I thought that it could be a good idea to bring up an expert today to talk about how to be a confident in front of the camera. Now, if you were the age group of 60s and 70s, the first time the man landed on the moon was the year 1969. And at that time, I'm sure if you would have seen Wikipedia or if you have Googled it, there were very, very big computers there. And if I were to give you a specification of the computers available, the Apollo computers there, which was used at that time in 1969, had a 1 megahertz of a processing power there. And the memory count was dealt in words, not in MBs or GBs there. And it weighed about 70 pounds, and at that time was price of $150,000. And imagine now you have, or most of us people have a very good smartphone with us in our pocket, whether it could be iPhone, it could be a Samsung, or it could be any other brand, Nokia. Most of those phones today, what we have, are enough to do vlogging. It has a good processing capabilities, most of the phones. They have a good front and rear cameras there, and they would have a sufficient memory to hold your live stream there. The purpose of this whole story, the purpose of telling this whole story is that there is no excuse not to come in front of the camera there. Now, I understand the people might be shy, and there are a lot of people who think that, okay, well, good, my personality is not good enough to come in front of the camera. Okay. The statistic shows that the people who are very good in doing the videos or doing the vlogging, only 5% of the personality counts, and the rest is 95% of your confidence and your knowledge. And this knowledge is very important because the audience itself are very educated. Everybody from the medium-sized companies to the large companies are trying to do live streams via this Zoom, or via it's a Cisco, or whether it's a Skype, or whether it's like I'm using this StreamYard. All of those platforms give you an opportunity to express yourself, express about your services, whether you are freelancer or you're working on behalf of a company, or whether you want to introduce a new product into the market. And doing this background story about the live streaming or how to be confident in front of the camera, went there and see a very beautiful video on Creative Life. I'm not sure whether you've heard about Creative Life there, or to do vlogging there. And I was amazed by a presenter telling about this whole story, that the most important thing while people lack in coming in front of the camera is the confidence, which does matter, but you can overcome it. Now, people would ask, and it's a common question to say, okay, if I do it, I might not be a perfect on first time. Yes, we are never perfect on first attempt there, or even second or third attempt. And most of the people who are doing vlogging, or who are doing the live streaming, or who are YouTubers there, for the matter of fact, will tell you that their first couple of videos would be, most of the people, I'm not saying all of the people, but most of the people, they would be crap. And it's quite common. And there, the thing to understand and to take away in all of this story, and all of this, what I'm telling you, is to understand that this is going to happen, and this is quite normal there. But the message you need to convey to the people should be good enough there. It should be simple, concise, and it should be simple enough to understand them. Once the message has been gone and it's simple and concise, people will start understanding you, will start loving you, will start following you. And that's the way to go in forward. In today's episode of a live stream, we have a Catherine. And Catherine works for herself, and she is a vlogger there. But I'll say it might be a new term for you, vlogging, but it's just that Catherine helps the people to come in front of the camera. And she's in the studio. Very welcome to Catherine there. Can you hear me?
Hello,
Catherine?
hello everybody.
Hi there, Catherine.
Hi. Do you want me to introduce myself now? Or?
Please, go ahead.
Yeah, hi. Sorry, didn't want to just butt in. Yeah, my name is Catherine Kavanagh. I've set up my business Media Lab, called Media Lab, 5 years ago. And it was primarily set up to train people, host workshops for people with disabilities. I had been working voluntary with a group, and I thought it was a job there, and there wasn't. When I came out of it, I was so passionate. I loved doing it. My friend of mine said, would you not set up yourself? And I said, well, I've no money, I've no equipment, to do that. There's grants for that, So I went off my merry little way and applied for the grants and got a projector, a camera, and a tripod. And that's literally what I have. And I have the camera still. The projector literally gave out a few weeks ago there. It kind of works, but I had to get a new one. It's not secure and stuff. So literally I set up like that and just knocked on doors, put leaflets in to places, daycare centres for people with disabilities, to go in and host these workshops to get people in front of the camera, because I knew the impact the camera had. It's something about the magic of a camera. I can't even explain it. When you put guys in front of the camera, guys and girls, and I had a lead that I could attach to my camera and play it back. So it was on raw footage I'd show back to the guys. And it was like they were seeing themselves on the stage or on a screen. And I get shivers even now thinking about it, and even if I'd forget at the end of a class to do that, they'd say, can we see yourself? Can you show us? That was a vital part of the class, that they wanted to see themselves on the screen. And particularly for people with disabilities, to see them being seen, you know what I mean? And we'd go out in the streets and do vox pops and interview, not interview, but ask people, members of the public. It could be Christmas time. What was their favorite part of Christmas or whatever like that? And for these guys to be seen out in the street, with cameras and tripods and all like that, to me and for them, the public to see them, was just amazing. I just loved it so much. And that's why when there wasn't a job there, my friend said, would you not set up yourself? And that's what I did. I was determined. This is what I was doing. I was trying to got the grant. And I think I got something else. Was it a laptop or something like that? And literally got the workshops off the feet. And then, I didn't see it coming. I never thought I was going to be a businesswoman, ever. A business. I still couldn't call it business, for years. To me, it wasn't a business. I loved doing it. And then obviously I'd go to networking, because that's what you do when you're in business. It's not a big love of mine, but I used to go and I tell people what I do, and I was really proud of it. And I really got noticed, and I'd say I empower people or show people or, raise their self-esteem, people with disabilities. And a few times people have said to me, would you not do that with business people? And I went, never thought that business people would need to be, their self-esteem or empowerment or whatever. Little did I know, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Of course they do, like anybody else and that, you know. So it was always in the back of my mind. So I kind of worked away at the workshops because it's quite hard work and, you know, editing. I had my son work with me and his friend and stuff like that. And up to last year, then a man come on to me on Facebook and said, could you show me how to use my camera? Can I meet you, you know, doing one-on-ones? I always wanted to do one-on-ones. Just that came up, and another lady in a wheelchair, and I kind of got her in front of the camera and all this kind of thing. And still was saying I'd love to do it, but I hadn't got the time. And this year, you know, earlier on this year, I said, okay, I'm going to focus on the one-on-ones, and still the same thing, doing other jobs and getting so busy. And then COVID hit, you know, and then we all know what happened. Everything stopped.
Yeah. I know.
So, you know, so I thought I was, you know, looking after myself and doing well. And it was only when you stop. I was still kind of working. I was still doing editing yoga videos. I had filmed a lady that does yoga and was adding subtitles onto her videos. So that was kept me going through COVID. So I was kind of working on that. But suddenly I can do me one-on-ones. You know, I can show people, you know, and get them in front of the camera. So I just start going live. I was at home on a Thursday. It happened to be a Thursday. And I missed doing the lives. Like, I was at home, wasn't meeting anybody, only going to the shops. And my son and brother live here, but they'd be in the room and, you know, doing their own thing and on their laptops and all that kind of thing. So I said, I'll go live and ask people how they're doing. You know, I love talking and see who comes on. And a few people come on and say hello and that and all that kind of thing. And I just decided in my head, it came into me, I'll do this every Thursday. I'll call it Talk Thursday. I love talking. It's Thursday. And so that's why I started there a few weeks or months ago in COVID, and I used to come on. And then I said, sure, I have friends that are business people or have great stories. They can come on and I'll talk to them. And I thought you could still do, you know, a dual live stream like this on Facebook. But you couldn't. You know, you could do it a few years ago. I never actually did it. I could go on live myself, but I couldn't do it. They'd gone. So you had to go from Zoom onto to do it live. And of course the yoga teacher brought her on first to talk, you know, show people how to be calm in the COVID and all this. And we were live for about half an hour, 20 minutes. I couldn't see it because it's very glitchy going on to Zoom. It's much better with StreamYard actually coming on here. And she knew we were live, but I was kind of going, oh my God, for ages, you know. And then eventually, you know, I got rid of the screen because I could see myself and I could see myself talking, and it was delayed. So it was putting me off. So I literally just got the screen and lowered it down, you know, kind of, and then I realized, okay, I'm live. But luckily I was able to go off and edit it. You know, I deleted that video that day and was edited that, and I cut out all that bit and just went from when I realized we were live, you know. But, you know, that would put some people off and did kind of me, oh my God, I look such an idiot and all this kind of thing. And then I went, feck it. You know, as you said earlier on, you're never going to get it perfect, you know. Go for it, you know, because I was saying I was going to come on the next week. I had someone lined up, Tracy McCann, a lady I know who can talk. She's amazing, has wrote a book and she does public speaking and she can talk. So that's what I'm saying. I had loads of friends that I knew would have great stories to come on. So they come on, her and our partner came on the following week, and we thought we were live and we actually weren't.
Oh God!
We went live, you know. So I just laughed about it. Yeah,
that happens too as well. Yeah, no.
Yeah. So the opposite happened then. You know, we weren't. We went, oh my God, we've been talking here and all, and maybe we have to do it again and go live. You know. So I just laugh about it now because what can you do? As you say, it's live. People see the real you. You know, and you just go for it. You know, a lot of people that would have went, as I said, oh my God, I can't do that. Oh my God. And I went, no. I'm not letting that chatter in my head. I'm going to go do it every week. And I did. Until I had Tracy's mother on, because she had an amazing story. They blamed Tracy's mother for what happened to her because she was 8 years of age when she got this overnight. She couldn't talk. So she has an amazing story. So I have to bring her on, and people loved her, you know. So, and then right at the end of her live, my Wi-Fi, I had old Wi-Fi here, and she just went. Now, lucky we got most of the interview and she got most of the thing. So I just went actually, and she was left on the screen, Catherine. So, you know, within 3 weeks, they all happened to me, but it didn't stop me, you know. So, you know, if people say, oh my God, I'm after my balls, you know, this, that, and the other, don't let it stop you. Keep going, I say to people, you know what I mean? And that's what makes it, you know, unique to you. You know, that's kind of my personality. I'd kind of be like that in real life, you know what I mean? I do stupid things, I say stupid things, you know what I mean? And that's you, though, do you know what I mean? And I say to people, you can't, if somebody said that, you know, there's no comparison. You've no competitors really, because you're unique. You're the only one that's doing what you're doing the way you're doing it. You know, and when somebody said it to me, I went, that's actually right. Because you'd be looking at other people, videographers, and oh my God, they look so professional, or they did this, and and you know, the same thing that's going on in your head, and you have to push it out of your head and say, no, you're unique. What you're doing is unique to you, and your personality is unique to you. So do it, you know. So yeah, so that's where I started. Going on lives, giving tips, because I was giving tips. I was kind of recording early in January and going on YouTube. I have a YouTube page from Media Lab, you know, from all the workshops that I did with people with disabilities. Like, we did amazing stuff. Go onto the Media Lab YouTube page, you'll see it. We did a remake of Rocky last year, and they were famous down in Carlow and all this kind of thing. So I loved that. But like, they stopped, just everything stopped. So I don't know when they're coming back, you know, unless there's a vaccine. So that's what I'm focusing on now, is the one-on-ones, and I just love doing it. I can't tell you how much I love doing it. You know, it's
Tell
just
me, one thing. Sorry to cut down. Is the demand since the pandemic of one-to-one has increased in your own statistics?
It has, yeah. I'm on LinkedIn and Facebook. I use both of them, and I've got clients on Facebook and LinkedIn, Facebook and LinkedIn. I had a lady come on to me on Facebook a few weeks ago, and she was terrified of Zoom. You know, she had her own business. She's down in Galway, a very successful business, and had gone into Zoom calls, you know, when they're set up and go in. But she knew she'd have to set up and have directors on and all this kind of thing, but she didn't know how to do it. So she seen me, my post I put up about doing one-on-ones. I didn't mention Zoom, but she said, is there something you could do? Show me how to do Zoom. So I literally just screenshotted what I did when I go into Zoom and just shared the screen and showed her literally what I did. And then she got another video error the same week to train her how to do video, because I give 6 tips and I go through the background. My background is not great here. I'm in the sitting room. I'm hoping to get the studio here, but sure, what can you do? We're at home. Yeah, but you know, get rid of the clutter, all that kind of thing. So I bring them up on the screen, the 6 tips, and I send them to them, the guys afterwards, or anybody, you know, afterwards. So they have them there, you know, that you can refer to. And it's just literally your background.
One is a background, yeah. And
yeah, it's important to get rid of clutter as much as you can. Do you know what I mean? As much as you can. And like that, what you wear, your color, try and get a strong color, you know, to give you confidence. And if you know, I have a white wall there, don't wear white.
So you will go for a contrast, basically.
Yeah, exactly. If you have a strong color at the back, you know, have a beige hair or whatever like that, you know, that's kind of what I go through and tell people to put on a bit of makeup if they're a woman. If they're a man, maybe put on a shirt or whatever, just to make them. And it's to make yourself feel confident. You know, people think it's vain and all this kind of thing, put on makeup. It's not. If you feel better and you feel confident in yourself and how you look, you'll come across that way, you know, as well. And then I just go through a little bit of sound and what else? A few different things. I can't remember them. I should know them off by heart. Light. Gee, I have the light beside me here and I can't remember. Yeah, so the light, I always say try and use the natural light. I'm in front of a window here. I have the blind pulled down. You know, I have a ring light over here set up. I'm going to have a little studio in the corner here. That's what I'm aiming for. Just literally set up, because it's getting darker in the evenings now. And you know, sometimes I'm here on Talk Thursday, I do it from 7 to 7:30, starting to get dark, and it goes real dark behind me, and I'm not going to start futuring around turning on lights. I'm going to have the ring light in front of me set up. So you could do that. You could have a little studio if you have the room, whatever. That mine was in the attic, but I don't really use it. You know, so I go through that with the guys, and I have them set up at the end of each one. Sometimes I put them on Facebook or LinkedIn over 6 days. I'll put the post up and, you know, let people see them. And the last one, number 6, is usually press that button and talk about mental chatter in your head. Literally. That's kind of my little, yeah.
What are the biggest fears the people talk to you while coming in front of the camera? If you were to summarize a couple of fears that someone who's new, who wants to come in front of a camera, they talk with you? This is the fear I have. I'm camera shy, or I am not a good personality, or whatever it is. Like,
yeah, they never really say personality. It's usually what I say, you know, what I say in front of the camera, and, you know, what have I got to say? And I kind of say to people, if you're in a business and you're passionate about your business, talk about your business, you know, talk about that, and that'll come true You know what I mean? You know, you have loads of things in your business and that to do, and sometimes you don't even have to go in front of camera. If it's a product, you could show the product and talk over it, you know, and show it, and then come back onto the camera.
Catch up a breath there and then come in front of the camera rather than
doing
exactly. An opening stream and then you're lost in some time because you might be struggling with the opening speech. That's the common thing I find with the people.
Yeah. Exactly, and it's to press that button. As I say to people, you could have the camera, you could have you know, you look great, everything's perfect, and you just can't press that button, you know. And I know people said it, and sometimes myself before I go live, I go, oh my God, you know, what am I going to do? And you have to go, okay, push through that, you know. So it really is in your head what stops you. It's not necessarily people will say it's, you know, having the light or having this, that, and the other, you know what I mean, whatever. But you can get over that. But it's, as you said, the confidence in yourself and that chatter in your head telling you have nothing to say. But as I said, if you're passionate about your business, which I am, I love doing it, so I talk all night about it, you know, that'll come across to people. You know what I mean? That'll come across. So just think of initially just to introduce yourself is all you have to say. Like I did earlier on, say who you are and what your business name is. So when I get people on, they say, what'll I say? What are you going to ask me? You know, they ask that kind of thing. Because I go through before we go live on the Thursday, that is, you know. But if I'm doing one-on-ones, they don't necessarily come live with me. You know what I mean? I just train them I'll give them the tips. And I give them maybe tips on Zoom. And then I have another thing, how to sell from Facebook and stuff like that. You know, I'll just give them a handout, you know, or I'll go through it, you know, because that's important now, you know what I mean? Because we're using social media to sell. Like, it's the biggest marketing tool that.
After pushing a button, I think so the most important thing, next step, is your content. What are you going to deliver?
Yeah,
and
exactly.
And the content should be delivered to the right audience rather than selling a female stuff to a male audience or a male stuff to the female audience.
Yeah, that's
it could work in a theory, but right content for the right audience. Do you walk through the people and say, look, make sure that whatever you're going to deliver, or that content, it should be simple enough to understand, like you're talking to face with someone?
Yeah, that's what I say to them, to keep it clear and keep it short and sweet if you can. Now, I'm the worst one. I talk and go on. So, you know, I say that to myself. I'm the worst for talking, but I'm kind of trying to get better, you know, and try and keep it short and sweet. And I say to them, maybe have some bullet points, you know, stuck onto your laptop in front of you there. If you get, you know, if it's your first time, as you said, it's never going to be perfect. You know, it's not going to be perfect. Even the YouTubers never get it perfect at the start. And probably none of us ever will. None of us are perfect, you know. But if you have something there in front of you, maybe, or even, you know, rather than look away or something like that, have it on the laptop in front of you there, and just bullet points. And you're after going through, and suddenly you get a blank. Now, I say to people, it doesn't really matter if you get a blank, you know, and you take a breath. People think they have to keep talking. Obviously, with nerves, you know, they're going to keep talking. But it's actually quite natural. If you do get, you know, just stop and take a breath and just go again, you know, and look at the bullet points or look at something to remind you what it is you want to say and stuff like that, you know, what it is you want to get across. You know, start with the introduction. It's like anything. It's like writing an essay, I suppose. You know, have a start, middle, and an end. You know, have a start kind of in your head what you're going to say to start it, and try and get something to grab people in, maybe, or something like that if you want to. Or maybe if you're on a live, you can put up a kind of a headline or something like that, you know, and try and think in your head, because content, as you said, trying to grab people, and have a headliner maybe or something that'll grab people, say, oh, what's that about, you know, and it's interesting. And then introduce yourself and stuff like that. And then have, like, obviously, whatever it is, a product or service, whatever it is, you're going to talk about that, you know what I mean, and mention it and go into it and show stuff or whatever it is you want. And then kind of have coming off it, you know, if people want to ask questions, if you're on a live, but I'm just talking about a live, not necessarily, you could record a video as well. You know, what I see people do as well when they come on live, Facebook Lives, if people come on, they stop and say, oh, hi, you know, they could be in the middle of talking and they say, hi, such a, I hate when people do that, you know, wait until the end. Yeah. You know, it's just so distracting. And then not only that, you could lose your train of thought as well, you know, for yourself. But wait until the end. I'd say wait until the end if you're doing a live, and wait until the end. And then people come on and you can see it. If you're doing it one-on-one, you'll see it yourself if people are coming on, and then say hello to them and see is there any questions, or people might have questions, and maybe mention if you have a book coming out, or maybe an event coming. Well, we probably won't have events now for a while, but but you know, something like that at the end, mention that.
or probably a product or services, new product or new services, introduction of them,
Yeah, exactly. You know what I mean? If you're introducing something into your whatever, you're into your service or product or whatever it is, which a lot of people are doing now. Like I've pivoted. That's a word. A lot of people don't like it, but that's what I've done. Kind of pivoted and kind of grabbed my opportunity. But I was kind of it was a little bit were in place beforehand. You know what I mean? I just jumped on the chance now. But yeah, I think to me, people haven't said it to me, but obviously the way they look, and I think people have this idea of the way they look, and when they get in front of a camera, they go, oh, it's like putting a gun in front of them. So I think that's what stops people a lot of time. They just have this image, and then they go on, So I just say to them, you know what? I have a double chin, I have a gappy tooth. So what? You know what I mean? Get on with it. You know what I mean? None of us are perfect, and what you notice, other people don't notice. Yeah. And then if you're passionate about your product or service, if you're talking about it, they won't even notice what you look like. That's the last thing, they're listening to what you say. As you say, the content then is so important to give value to people.
That's right.
And, tell them, people.
Most of us, sorry to get in, most of us forget that we are talking to human. It's on other side, there are also humans. They are like us. They are no difference to us. But yes, they are smart enough, because they listen and see different streams and different live videos there. So the script, what you're going to say after your introduction, like Catherine said, is very important there. And immediately, which comes into my mind, if somebody have seen Lost on Prime Video or Hulu, it's a marvelous series there, and you keep on guessing it. The script should be simple enough, but your audience should be guessing what you're going to deliver it and how you're going to deliver it. And your style should be, I think so, same, but your content should vary with your audience. I think so. You will agree with me, Catherine?
Yeah, I would agree. Yeah, I'd say that when you're talking about a script, I would say don't use a script. Don't read off a script.
Read off the script there,
yeah. Don't read out. Yeah, definitely. That's a big no. I hate when people do that, and I can't even do that. If I had a script now in front of me, I would be a different person. Like it just your personality doesn't come out when you're reading off something. I'd be the same. I'd write a few things down, but sometimes I don't even look at them. I just go into it because I know what I'm talking about. I know what I'm going to say and stuff like that. So I don't really need it. But like that, if you're starting off, you might need a bit of security and a bit of backup, because you're thinking of what am I looking like? There's all this going on in your head and stuff like that. But as you say, they're not stupid. Imagine your ideal customer is watching you, even just the one ideal customer, that's somebody, because people have said that to me as well. Now that you say it, they feel weird looking into the camera. They feel, sometimes I use my Canon camera when I'm recording stuff, mostly I use my laptop. It doesn't bother me, but some people find it weird just to look at a camera, or and sometimes people, especially on a laptop, you have to look up here. I'm saying I look down here at myself. I do it all the time. You're supposed to look up here. Yeah. And if you're using your phone, if you're doing landscape, it's over here. And if you're doing portrait, it's up here again, so, and I do it all the time. Like I do, I was at an event, the last event I went to, actually up north, up in Belfast here, just before COVID. It was the end of February. And it was a media event. It was all YouTubers from America and some from England and all this, and I loved it. It was absolutely amazing. And they came on, some very famous. Some of them tumbled onto the stage, were mad. But they said, do what you love doing. Do what you love doing. That'll come across. So I bring my granddaughter to school. I have a granddaughter, and I bring her to school every day. And I love that time we're in the car. And I start saying to her, what are you grateful for? Just saying, just a little thing in the car, just a child, to see what she'd say, and the simple things she comes up with, So after that event, I went, I love being with Hallie. I love asking her that time. So, and she loves video. She's a real, children nowadays love YouTube and all that kind of thing. She loves being in front of the camera.
I saw it yesterday for a brief there. You were with her in the car, I think. So
yeah.
Yesterday or the way more.
Yeah. And so I literally said, okay, why don't we film it? And she was thrilled, loves it, running out in the morning time, and we just literally do 30, I record it, I don't go live just in case I haven't got a signal or something like that, goes wrong. So I literally just record it and put it up straight away as soon as she goes into school. And people love it. They love it. They think it's so cute and so funny, because she could say anything, and usually does, or I could say anything, because that's my personality. And a lot of the time, even this morning, I was looking over here and she says to me, Nana, look over there at the car, and she's even telling me where to look. Because we forget, that.
I suppose it's your daily routine. People want to know what you are doing. And once
Exactly.
they are following you, they want to know, like Kardashians, what they're doing,
Yeah, that's it. Everybody's nosy. Yeah, they all want to do. And that's why people say, what will I talk, what will I do? Just video yourself. You come out of a thing, or you're going to the shops, or something happens to you. You don't have to be doing business stuff all the time, selling. Nobody likes to be sold to all the time. You know what I mean? So you don't have to do that, but you need to be consistent on social media. You need to be there every day, and posting and stuff, and you need to show, that you're there. And, and same thing as you come on every Tuesday at a certain time. I come on every Thursday at 7:00. That's vitally important. People know. I don't know how many people come on and watch me. I don't care. It doesn't bother me. I'll talk. I love talking, so I'll talk to anybody. But people are seeing it, and people coming on, and they know. A friend of mine's a counsellor, and she came on Thursday, or one of the Thursdays, she went on thing, and she said, "Oh, there you are, Catherine. There's 7:00, and there's Catherine." And the woman that was on, she wanted to get in touch with her to do some work with her and stuff like that. So I just keep going. You know what I mean? I don't care who watches, whatever, like that. But it's just they're two little things that I didn't plan to do. They just came to me. Sometimes inspired action, something will come to you and you'll say to yourself, like even the Hallycat, we call it a Hallycat show. And it's literally her name and my name. And it comes off Brendan O'Carroll, does Mrs. Brown's Boys. And they were doing something, Cathy Brown show. And that's where the little tune came from, and the Hallycat show. And we just love it. And I love doing it. And it's just natural, and it's just authentic. And people, it's a child telling what she's grateful for, and you know what I mean. And it's sometimes 30 seconds, sometimes 20 seconds. So that's what I'm saying. It's so simple. If you find something that you love doing, it doesn't have to be anything to do with your business. It just could be you and your granddaughter, or your daughter, or son, or whatever it is, and just a little thing. And like that, every morning we just do it Monday to Friday because she's in school. Now she's making her communion now on the 26th. And I said to her today, we'd have to do one Hallycat show on that day in our dress. So, and sometimes we'll get Winnie the cat. We have a cat here. Her cat, she loves it.
Okay.
We bring the cat in, or the odd time my son might be here. You know what I mean? If we do it the odd weekend. So you can vary it up. But that's what I'm saying. It's so simple. I like that.
So basically, other than what you're trying to say is that consistency is also very important. That if you're coming on Thursday, 7:00 there, you should make sure that you are there every week. It's just like a normal TV show or a normal episode of Netflix. There, if it's there, it's coming there, you should be there. People are watching. Even the one person is watching you, it will make a hell of a difference.
It does, yeah. It's you're showing up consistently every single week, and they're kind of going, "Oh, she's on every week. Oh, what she thought? Who she got on this week?" Now I'll put a post up. Maybe I'll put it up today. Who's coming on Thursday? And I'll just say this pair, like yourself, who's going to come on, and maybe on the day if I get time, depends how busy I am. I'll just to let people know I'm coming on. But people know, they've gotten used to it now, and particularly the Hallycat show, they just love it. People, come on, and maybe a few days later, like you might even get the engagement that day. It could be 2 days later as people that see the video or something like that, and they comment on it, and they go, she didn't like Mondays last week, and she was in the camera. We were in the car because we were in a hurry. So she had the camera, and she was actually videoing me, and she had her video me arm, and I had to say, move up the camera. And when I put the post up, I went, Hallie needs my coach, my video coach. And so I used that kind of little, sentence to say, I need to coach her, and that's kind of just referring to my business a bit, but I don't do that every day on that video. Do you know what I mean? So you don't need to, but I put it up on LinkedIn, and I put it up on Instagram as well. And it gets traction, and I think it's because of a child saying what she's grateful for, and as well as it's just me and her, sometimes I'd be giving out.
Tell me, Catherine, for the first time when you did a video and you saw your own recording of the video.
Oh my God. Oh.
Give me an honest opinion. What was your thought?
Oh, I hate it. I've only gotten recently. Now, as I said, I used to look my double chin, my fat face. I criticised myself big time, and it was mostly in the classes when I did the media workshops for people with disability. Excuse me. You'd hear me, because we used to have a clapperboard, and we go 3, 2, 1, action. You'd hear my voice all the time, telling them what to do. And for ages, the same thing, I couldn't look at it, you literally, because I know where people are coming from. You know what I mean? It's when you see yourself on the thing and you realize, oh my God, I'm twice the size I am. I thought I was in my head, or your hair's all over the place or whatever. But I've gotten so used to it now. I suppose I've been in front of the camera. I go, whatever, So what? We're none of us are perfect, as I keep saying, you know what I mean, earlier. None of us are perfect. Just go for it and do it,
So I think even before going to a live, it would be a very handy to record yourself a couple of times and improve it. Of course, everybody, like I said in my introduction speech, that you're never going to be perfect until you keep on practicing it. Keep on practicing it. That's the only way to make yourself perfect there. And I was also seeing, I mentioned about Creative Live, that presenter also was telling that even the presenters in the TV shows there, they are not much worried about the audience. They are much worried about their own circumstances and the knowledge they are going to give you, or the information they are going to give their viewers. When you're doing one-to-one stream there, or when you're into the front of a camera, advertising about yourself, probably as a freelancer or as a coach, or maybe on behalf of the company or behalf of SMEs there, you're delivering a message there. And then when you deliver a message, it's kind of not a routine work there. It's a specialized way of delivering a message, like one-to-one,
Yeah, that's it. Yeah, it's, as I said, it's your own unique way of doing it. You'll find your own unique way of getting your message across, your way in that, and one-to-one in front of the camera and stuff like that. And as I said, you have to just go for it and practice it. That's one of the tips when I was recording videos earlier on this year. You say presentation and practice. I used to keep saying that. You can do Facebook Live if people want to get used to it, their way around. You can do Facebook Live just to yourself. Mm-hmm. And then you can, there's a little setting when you go into it, it shows you, drop down menu, and you can go in, and if you get a little bit confident, you could do it just for your friends, and then go to your, bigger audience, so you don't have to go straight Facebook Live, you know what I mean? If you want to get a little bit used to just the camera and seeing yourself on the camera, you can gradually do it that way, if you're recording, obviously, but you can record video at home. I find the Facebook Live easier because you just go for it. If you record a video, you'll keep criticizing it and you keep saying deleting it or do it again.
And then you will always be in your back of mind that it's not perfect. You have to redo it. You have to redo it. So, like you said, that push that button.
Push that button. That's my little 3 words. I was in a group there, 5-day challenge there, and it was kind of content writing. I still learn all the time. The same thing I need for content writing, or tips and stuff. And the woman said that to get 3 little sentences, a little kind of a line. I said, I have that already. I just kind of push that button, at the end of it, push that button, go for it, and don't listen to the chatter and just go for it. And especially with lives, as I said, they're never going to be perfect. And I always think they're easier because you're just doing it. Whatever happens. If a cat jumps up behind you or whatever, but that makes the video. Do you know what I mean? It makes it more authentic. And then, as the saying, they say people get to know, like, and trust you. They get to know your personality, and like that, there could be 20 videographers or 20 photographers, but only you do you the way you do it.
You are unique. You are unique in yourself.
Yeah,
you are
exactly.
Unique. You are only one piece.
You're only one piece. Yeah, exactly. And people say that to me. I think it's probably working with people with disability. I'm probably myself. I love getting people relaxed, and I love to kind of, as you said earlier on, just be relaxed. And they said it to me, when I bring them on live. One of the women, when she came on, she didn't realize I was bringing her on live. I said, oh yes. I said, brought you on here, you're going live. But people have said to me, I have a lovely way of just relaxing them, when they go in on live. They don't feel it could be their very first time and stuff like that. So that's kind of probably unique to me. I don't know, other people could be the same, but you know what I mean? My personality, I kind of chat to them and that, and they probably don't even realize, you know what I mean? Well, I know they realize they're going live, but you know what I mean? I kind of relax them. That's the only way I can describe it, because as I said, it's my unique personality that goes on, that comes to it. You know what I mean? I find a lot of videographers are very techie. It's all about the
technology.
The technology. And I think that puts people off, like, what I mean?
That's what I said in opening speech, that the phone, the smartphone we have in our current age time is more than sufficient to go live or do vlogging. You can do plenty of things there with that smartphone there. You do not need a handy and more sophisticated sort of a camera or a mics or a lighting there. Yes, it is always advisable, like Catherine said, that to invest on the gear. But having said that, if you cannot, I think so. You should start and build up, and then probably buy the gear.
Yeah, exactly. You know, as you said, the cameras on the iPhones are brilliant. There was some film there in Hollywood about a year ago was made entirely on the iPhones, and even I have a Huawei. I can never remember the name of it, and it's a dual phone or dual camera, and it's brilliant. You know, it's as good as a Canon in a way, and it's easier sometimes. I have a tripod; you can put it on the tripod, so that's maybe all you could maybe invest in your phone and a tripod to keep it steady. Excuse me, because a lot of like when I see people on video and going lives, I in my head, oh my God, they're moving this. You know, I start criticizing them in my head. You know, and I'd love to get talking to them. But you see people with the camera holding it. I did it myself as well at the start, and then they're moving around and that, and they're showing, and they're going too fast, and people are getting dizzy. You know, so maybe invest initially in a tripod, or if you're going to hold it, hold your elbow into your body like this. It'll kind of and keep it there, kind of keep it a bit steady. You know, but you know, obviously in your hand, you know, you don't always have to have it on a tripod. Do you know what I mean? You could stand it up against books or something, a window or something. Do you know what I mean? Your phone, there is other ways of doing it. I must actually, I was going to do a 5-day, everybody's doing 5-day challenges, and it kind of put me off. That's why I did prefer to talk Thursday. But I'd love to do, you know, just a simple thing, because I've seen it somewhere. You can put a phone into, you know, the paper cups that you get coffee in. You just cut the sides of just kind of, them, and you can stand your phone in one of them, so you don't actually, you know what I mean,
just to make it steady, basically.
Yeah, to make it steady, just stand it into that, you know, sideways or whatever. Yeah, sideways probably, or into a paper cup. So you don't even need a tripod. You know what I mean? I say to people, yeah, tripods are cheap enough. You get them in Argos. But you don't need it. Do you know what I mean? So I'd love to go on and maybe do a talk. Maybe I will, and probably in October, I get a minute, and show, you know, instead of a tripod, a cup or something else, you know, or books or whatever, and show people what you could use. You know what I mean? It's trying to show it on the camera. You know what I mean? It's just a bit awkward in that, but I'll figure it out somewhere. But yeah, you don't just, the cameras are brilliant nowadays, and you have it in your hand. You have the phones all the time in our hands, you know, so you can use that. You don't need all the technology and all the equipment to start to get going and stuff like that. As I said, natural light outside, and sometimes if you're out, you know, very in a park or something like that, and there's a lake, you know, just to get you off the screen, you could show your surroundings. Oh, look where I am, you know, and people are interested to go, oh, that's lovely and stuff, and I must go there and all that kind of thing, you know.
I must mention our app TikTok. You can see that a lot of people don't want to come in front of camera, but they do filmize the different sceneries, or maybe if they are going for outing, or they are going to for a beach or a walk there, or with the dog there, or fun in the bedroom with the cat there. So there's a lot of a way to, you know, make up your followers there. And I see a lot of girls that have a following of 1.1 million. I know it's not a European sort of a thing there. It's more or less an Asian sort of a thing there. But there are a lot of way to make up your followers there. And once you make up a followers and then you come live there, then it's a way to build up your audience into Facebook as well, or into Instagram. And then if you are into B2B sector, maybe LinkedIn as well, you know.
Yeah, exactly. That's it. Yeah. And people kind of think TikTok. I have an account on TikTok. I don't really use it though. I should, because it's visual, you know, and it's video. But yeah, it's becoming very popular, very, very popular and stuff like that. And like that, you could advertise your business on it. You know what I mean? And people think it's just for kids. You know, and Gary Vee, I don't know whether you know Gary Vee, the American, he mentioned that I think last year about TikTok, and people laughed at him and that, you know. So
that's great.
You know, so, and he was right, like, you know what I mean? It is becoming very popular, especially in COVID. People were doing all the routines and all that kind of thing. You see them doing the dancing and things,
that's
you know.
Right. But, we want to see something different. That's the human nature, you know. We want to see something different, you know, unique, I would say, in a simple word.
Yeah, unique and different. Because I'm the same. I get bored easy looking at things. So I love variety and all that kind of thing. So everybody does, and we're nosy and all that kind of thing. But we definitely want to see something different, and not the usual way of maybe advertising business. There's loads of different ways. Did you ever hear of Mattress Mick that lives, I'm in north side of Dublin, and he lives around here selling mattresses, and his hair is literally like them old mattresses. Literally.
Oh my God, okay.
Yeah, and he literally, Mattress Mick, that he made up that name, and he posters around, somebody standing on the road with, you know, mattress on them and all this kind of thing. Everybody knows him though. That's guerrilla marketing, I think they call that. You know, he stands out and everybody knows him. Mattress Mick. I think people thought it was a porn star or something like that first.
So
you know?
it's a unique thing, something that will always keep in the back of the audience, their mind of the audience there.
Yeah, it's unique to him. Exactly. Just millions of people sell mattresses, but do we know their names? Like, no, we don't. We know Mattress Mick and that, because he made some stupid video as well. I think Back to the Future or something he was making and all this kind of thing, and being mad. Now, we had some guy that was working with him, I think, was doing all this kind of filming and doing mad stuff, but people remembered him, people knew him, you know what I mean? So there's loads of ways to it's kind of be creative and trying to think outside the box and think of something. And I'm very light. I hate, as I said, I didn't want to do I was thinking of a 5-day challenge, and here everybody's doing them. I like to stand out. I like to do something different myself. So I'd be like that in life. So, but like that, I just tuned into who I was. Literally, I talk Thursday, and the same with Hattie Cat Show. I love doing that with my granddaughter, so it's a simple thing. So if people could think of that, and just go in front of the camera. Everybody's in front of the camera now. But definitely the content as well. Like, just try not go in front of the camera and not, go, as you say, go off on a tangent or something. Try and keep it precise. So
we have discussed about the opening speech, pushing the button, then opening speech, script or not script there. What about the ending part, or the ending speech, or the ending thoughts, or the thought of the day? How to conclude your live stream?
Yeah, you could. But like I said there, I do press that button kind of at the end. Well, I should do it actually when I do my lives. I don't do it now, but I used to say it. But like, you could say something like, you could have a little tagline at the end, like that. I just point. I think I did it in the video. It was not live. I didn't, but I pointed the camera and go, press that button. So that was mine at the end. But that wasn't a Facebook Live. Now, I've never actually really gone on and sold from Facebook Live. Like, I have the structure of it and stuff like that, but I've never used it that way. You know what I mean? But there is a way of a structure to it, to go it and have a tagline at the end. But yeah, you could round up. You could have the questions. People are asking you could mention your book and that. You're kind of coming to the end, and then have that tagline, whatever it is, to do with your business, to something. But I find I've done it a lot more now. I find if I sit in the kitchen, in the quiet, and do nothing. And I was a terrible one for running around like a headless chicken and busy all the time. And I find now, sitting down quietly and start writing, ideas come to me and stuff like that, in the quiet. So that could be something people could do as well. You know what I mean? It's as I say, inspired action kind of thing. Or sometimes in the car. It comes to me, or the shower. People say that's how ideas come to you in the shower, because you're literally doing nothing. You're in the shower, and you're thinking,
or in the washroom,
Yeah, in the washroom, So it's literally tuning into yourself. I found that this year and last year, when I did that a lot more, and not looked at everybody else, what they're doing and stuff like that, because it was taking me confidence. You know what I mean? When you're comparing, what was a comparison is the thief of joy, and something else. But if you're comparing to other people what they're doing, it's going to knock your confidence out. So don't compare yourself. I know it's very hard. We all do it, and that, it's very hard not to do it. But I found when I kind of went into myself, but kind of tuned into who I was and brought that out. I wasn't doing something that I wasn't comfortable with. And I think maybe that could knock people's confidence as well. If they're doing something that somebody else is doing, but it doesn't feel right to them, don't do it, because I've done that. I've been advised to do things and I've done them and I haven't really liked them, and nothing happened, it wasn't successful. But when I tuned into myself, who I was, and brought that in and said, okay, and it was comfortable and I love doing it. And they're the two things that I love doing, and they're the most successful in that, you know what I mean, out of everything. So
basically, we all are unique in ourselves there. So we should have a stamp of unique rather than following someone. Because when you are going to follow someone there, and if it's a celebrity or a very famous person or something, people are looking, they would immediately recognize in the back of the head, this guy or this woman or this girl or this personality is following or trying to copy something. So unique is always good,
Yeah,
I know we all get inspired. Definitely, we all get inspiration from other people, from other products, from other environment. But taking those inspiration and converting for the benefit of yourself is, I think, so the best thing you could do with yourself.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, to listen to that and, kind of tweak it to you, inspire what inspires you and stuff. And sometimes when you get an inspired action or inspired idea, like when I got the Hattie Cat Show, I kind of went, oh, I couldn't do that. Oh my God, this kind of,
it's kind of difficult. Yeah.
Yeah. And I had to go, no, just do it. Just go for it. You know what I mean? Just as I say, press that button. I still say it even now. Just do it. You know, it doesn't matter if people not interested or whatever. Just do it. You love doing it. She loves doing it, and put it up there. You know, so you know you can't, even when you're inspired to do something, your head will tell you, oh no, that won't work. Sometimes you won't listen to that inspiration, your own inspiration. You know what I mean? And we have this source inside us, which is amazing. You know, we only tapped into it a hell of a lot more. And when you find the most successful people probably are more in themselves, you know, tune into themselves, you know, they're not trying to be somebody else or copying that. But as you said, the public are intelligent. They see through that if you're trying to be something that you're not. You know, it's like Big Brother years ago, you know, the people that always got voted out the first were always the ones that were trying to put an act on or something like that, weren't they? You know, and the ones that were more genuine, honest and straight, just being themselves, won it, you know, most of the time. So there you go. Like people, you think behind you're in front of a camera, people don't suss you, but they do. You know what I mean? They can see through you. You know, if you're trying to put on an act, you know, it's not going to happen.
So, what one message you would like to give someone who is very shy, or someone who wants to start vlogging or who wants to start going live there in front of a camera? What one message in a simple word sentence you would like to give it to the people?
Well, just press that button, I suppose. There's nothing else. It's the only thing that's coming to my head now at this stage. Just go for it. You know, you know, you can't make somebody doing something. I know that, you know, you can't force anybody to do something. But as I said, do something that you love and you enjoy doing, and don't do something else because somebody else is doing it. Definitely not. You know what I mean? Definitely. I'd give that message. Don't copy somebody else. Be inspired by it or get some ideas from other people, but try and get your own unique take on it. You know what I mean? That's what the message I'd give, definitely.
Thank you, Catherine, for today, for coming live with me. I'm sure the people who have listened to you today would have taken out of the conversation, that they would give them a little bit of a hope, or I would say a more inspiration by listening to you, to say, look, if Catherine and Taseef can do it, why can't we do it?
Exactly.
That's the message to take it. I'm also a very camera shy person. I used to be very camera shy.
Really?
Yes, I am an instructor. I've been teaching for 20 years. But in front of a camera, I'm very shy. And it may be because of, I think that I'm not suitable enough in front of a camera. But since this pandemic, and especially I owe a big thumb up to my younger brother. His name is Hisham, and he goes under the attack of a being guru in Pakistan. He forced me to come on live. He said, brother, you have all the knowledge of the world. You are very good in personality. Why can't you go on live? I said, look, it's not for me, you know, to come live in front of people. He said, look, you would be amazed at how much people would love you if you start doing it. And the message was that if you don't try it, you don't get it. Simple
That's
as
it.
that, and then you have to try it. Thank you very much for today.
You don't try. Exactly. You know what I mean? Give it a go.
Thank you for today, and hopefully in the next soon there we will do another live there on more deep about the gear and about other things, aspect like you discussed during your live talk show today. Thank you for coming today, Catherine.
Thank you. Thanks very much. Thanks, everybody.
Thank you. All right. So that was Catherine, and she was explaining how to be confident in front of a camera. I'll switch over to Urdu and a little bit of the audience who are listening in Urdu. बात ये है कि आपको कहीं तो स्टार्ट करना है जिंदगी में, और स्टार्ट करने के लिए बहुत जरूरी है कि आप स्टार्ट अभी करें. देखिए, it's never too late in your life. Okay? कभी लेट नहीं होता. आज करें और कल पे छोड़ देंगे तो कल से परसों हो जाएगी. मैंने जैसा पहले ओपनिंग स्पीच में बताया कि जब 1969 में फर्स्ट पर्सन ऑन मून लैंड हुआ, नासा का जो गियर था, जो कंप्यूटर था, जिसे वो कहते हैं अपोलो गाइडेंस कंप्यूटर, वो 1969 की मैं बात बता रहा हूँ, वो 1 मेगाहर्ट्ज पे था. आज का आपका स्मार्टफोन जो आपकी जेब में है, चाहे वो आईफोन हो, चाहे वो नोकिया हो, चाहे वो सैमसंग हो, वो उससे 1000 दर्जा स्ट्रॉन्ग है, चीपर है. उस वक्त जब नासा ने, जब पहला बंदा नील आर्मस्ट्रॉन्ग ने जब कदम रखा 1969 में, मैं कीप ऑन कमिंग बैक, मैं कंपैरिजन करना चाह रहा हूँ आप लोगों के लिए, वो ये था کہ $150,000 کا وہ کمپیوٹر تھا جس کی جو پروسیسنگ سپیڈ تھی 1 میگا ہرٹز تھی. اب میں ایگزامپل لے لیتا ہوں آئی فون 7 کی. آئی فون 7 کے اندر A10 کی چپ لگی ہوئی ہے, اور A10 کی جو چپ ہے وہ 1 ملین ٹائم زیادہ پروسیسنگ کرتی ہے جو کہ اس ٹائم کے 1969 کی کمپیوٹر میں جس سے بندہ. اگر ناسا بغیر کیمروں کے اور بغیر کیا کہتے ہیں اکوپمنٹ کے, اسٹرانگ انف اکوپمنٹ جو اس وقت بہت اسٹرانگ تھا اور $150,000 کا تھا, مون پہ بندہ لینڈ کر سکتا ہے, یار آپ بھی وی لاگنگ کر سکتے ہو, آپ بھی کمپیوٹر کے آگے آ سکتے ہو, آپ بھی کیمرہ کے آگے آ سکتے ہو. شرط 2-3 چیزیں ہیں, 3 چیزوں کی شرط ہے. ایک یہ کہ جو فیئر آف گیئر ہے وہ کبھی نہیں ہونا چاہیے. جو گیئر آپ کے پاس ہے وہ بہت ہے, ٹھیک ہے, پیسے ہیں تو آپ رنگ لائٹ بھی لے لیجیے, آپ مائک بھی لے لیجیے, آپ اچھا کیمرہ بھی لے لیجیے 1080p کا, آپ کوئی بھی گیئر لے لیجیے. لیکن اگر آپ کے پاس فون ہے اور آپ میسج دینا چاہتے ہیں تو دیجیے. یہ آپ اگر آپ کو ٹائم ملے تو ٹک ٹاک کی ہسٹری دیکھیے کہ ٹک ٹاک نے کس طرح جو ہے اسٹریمنگ کو, دنیا کی اسٹریمنگ کو تبدیل کر کے رکھ دی ہے. کتنے ایک عام لڑکی اور لڑکے جو ہیں عام گھرانوں سے وہ ملین فالوورز بنا سکتے ہیں, تو آپ کیوں نہیں بنا سکتے؟ آپ میں کوئی کمی نہیں ہے, آپ کو صرف کانفیڈنس کی کمی ہے, اور کانفیڈنس ہی ساری چیز ہے وی لاگنگ کرنے کے لیے یا کیمرہ کے سامنے آنے کے لیے. آج کا میسج صرف اتنا ہی تھا. کیتھرین کے ساتھ مجھے بھی بہت انجوائے ہوا لائیو اسٹریم کرنے کا. امید ہے کہ آپ کو بھی مزہ آیا ہوگا. اپنے گردوار کے لوگوں کا خیال رکھیے. انشاءاللہ تعالی آپ سے اگلے اتوار کو پھر دوبارہ ایک نئے گیسٹ کے ساتھ ملاقات ہوگی. اس سے پہلے انشاءاللہ فرائیڈے کو ہم نے پارٹ 3 انٹروڈکشن ٹو اکاؤنٹنسی بھی کرنا ہے. وہ بھی اگین انگلش میں ہے راحت کاظمی صاحب کے ساتھ. اگر وہ کوئی تبدیلی ہوئی شیڈیول میں تو میں اناؤنس کر دوں گا. اپنا خیال رکھیے گا.